Hi everyone, it's Jeanette from Jewelry by Jeanette, and today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful bracelet with the Into the Woods creative kit that you can find in my Etsy shop. And you will have enough materials in the kit to make this bracelet, plus you'll have some extra beads left over in case you need to make yours a little bit longer, or you might even want to make a little pair of earrings, a dangle or two, up to you. You can find the full description of the kit in the description box below this video. Before we get into the video, I have a really exciting announcement. I'm very excited about this. I know that some of you have been asking about a subscription option, and that has been in the works. And I'm so excited to announce that I have started, or I will be starting, a Patreon subscription. And you can find information about that subscription in the description box, again, below the video. But you will be getting, as a subscription member to the, I believe I'm calling it the Sparkle Club, you'll have access to 2 bonus videos a month and 10% off all of the kits in my shop. Now, don't worry, this channel isn't going anywhere. I am still going to be creating free content for my YouTube channel. That's not going to change. But for those of you who want a little bit more of deeper dive, more detailed explanations of things like tools and inspiration and organization, things like that you will not find in the videos that I put out here on YouTube, then I've got you covered. That's the subscription for you. So thank you so much again for subscribing and liking and commenting. It's really helping my little channel grow, and I do appreciate each and every one of you, whether you join my subscription channel or you remain here on YouTube, or you do both, which I hope you do. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Hey everybody, just popping in to say that I wanted to clarify my Patreon channel will be going live on September 15th of 2025. So that's when you can join my subscription club, the Sparkle Club, and I hope to see you over there. Check out the information below the video. Bye now. Thanks. So let me tell you about what is in the Into the Woods creative kit. So this kit has some of the most gorgeous autumn and fall colored gemstones that I could find. So you will be getting 5 jasper, absolutely beautiful, in blues and browns, little hint of red in there as well. Some of my favorite beads are the carnelians. These have a really rich and deep orangey red color, and some of them, let me see, this one right here, let me show you. So this one you can see even has a little bit of the greenish blue that you're finding in the jasper there. So I can't guarantee that you'll get one of these beads, but I'll try to include one in every kit, at least one. Here we've got some of my favorites, the Amazonites. And you'll notice they're in different sizes. I like to use different sizes of beads. And those are the amount of beads that you will be getting in the kit. It's 6 of the jasper, 5 of the carnelian, and let's see, 4, 8, 10 of the Amazonite, 3 wheel crystals. You know, I love my wheel crystals here. So you can see how pretty those are. The sparkle is incredible. I'm not sure the camera always picks up the sparkle, but the sparkle is incredible. So you'll be getting 3 of those. I think we're only going to use 2 today. And you will be receiving 3, 6, 8 gold-plated spacer beads. I don't think we'll be using all of them today. I'm not sure, but you will get that. You will be getting a gold-plated lobster claw clasp. And there is another, oh, it's hiding under there. There you are. Hold on. I see you. All right, yes. So there's the jump ring for the lobster claw clasp. You will be getting a heavier gauge jump ring for the other part of the clasp. I like to use heavier gauges because they don't come apart as easily and they don't open as easily. And you will be receiving some crimp tubes here. I only have 2 crimp tubes here, but I do usually include 1 or 2 extra crimp tubes because if you're like me, you're going to squish them the wrong way. You know, I know how it is. So I like to include a few extra. And you will also be receiving 12 to 13 inches of beading wire. This should be more than enough. You might even be able to make an ankle bracelet if your ankle's not too large. You might be able to make an ankle bracelet with this. But feel free to add your own beads, things from your own stash, and create what you want to create. This is just one idea. As far as tools, you'll need the usuals. You will need a pair of chain nose pliers. You will not need the round nose pliers. I don't know why they're in there, but you won't need those. You will need flush cutter, and you will need crimping pliers. And normally I recommend that you have 2 pairs of chain nose to open and close the jump rings, but this pair of crimping pliers that I have here, it's the Zuron. I absolutely love this crimping plier. It was a game changer for me. It made crimping so much easier. And it also has a micro tip, sort of like chain nose pliers right here. So it eliminates the need for an extra pair of pliers for me. I will link to the Zuron crimping pliers that you can get right on Amazon. So check the description box below this video. All right, so I have my beads all laid out here, and I am ready to start assembling my bracelet. So the first thing that I want to do is crimp this side here so that it is finished off and my beads don't fall off of the wire. So what I'm going to do here is I am picking up one of my crimp beads, one of my crimp tubes, and then I'm going to actually, before I do that, hang on, I forgot something. I need to put this jump ring on the lobster claw. So I'm just gonna grab that in here, open that up, and put this little lobster claw on there. Sorry if I've got some paint on my fingers here. I've been doing some card making and things like that, and it's hard to get those inks and paints off. Okay, so there we go. Now we're ready. So I've got the crimp tube on here already, and I'm going to just slip that. Now, what you have to remember to do is make sure that that jump ring is closed very tightly. because you don't want it slipping off. Oops, you also don't want to drop it like that. All right, so remember, crimp tube first, then your clasp, and then you feed the wire back through the crimp tube. And I like to allow a little bit of room. It's hard for me to stay in camera and also be able to see what I'm doing. There we go, okay. And when I make this loop, I like to just leave a little bit of wiggle room, like a little bit of space, not a lot, because you don't want a lot of friction, but just a little bit so that it's not so tight that it pops open. Okay, and now I'm going to get my crimping pliers. I'm making sure that the wires are not crossed. I'm putting the tube into that little groove in the back. Can you see that there? It's got a little tooth on it. So maybe you can see it better this way, right? And I'm slipping it into that notch and I'm squeezing, giving it a good squeeze, and you'll see that it actually folds. It puts a little dent. We have to fold it, but it puts a little dent in there for you. And then we just turn it sideways. And we're going to put that crimped, that dented piece, so to speak, into, I'm going to use, if you can see here, there are different notches, different sections that you can put the bead in. I'm going to use the middle one. You just use the one that fits your bead best. And I'm going to give it a squeeze. And hang on. You'll actually feel it. Give it a good squeeze. And I like to take the tip and give that an extra little squeeze. If you've got chain nose pliers, you can do that too, and you'll see that it actually folds that over and squashes it tight, right? Now, some people leave this little tail on here and feed it through the bead. I don't like doing that because I find that eventually it works its way out and it sticks up and it scratches and it's annoying. I don't think that it doesn't provide any extra security. So I just go ahead and snip that off. I'm sorry, I have to move it a little closer to see it because it's a little piece right there. Okay, now I'm just going in, giving that a little clip. You wanna put your finger over it so that it doesn't go flying into your eye. Just put that over there. And now I'm ready to start stringing on my beads. And this is just a pattern that I created. You can make whatever pattern you like, but I think they look nice this way. I'm going to thread the first few beads and then you'll get the idea of what I'm doing here. I'm just picking up the beads and putting them on the wire. Sometimes these holes are hard to see. These are the Amazonite. Gorgeous, light blue, really, really pretty. Some of my favorites. Okay. And I'll put one more of the gold. And if you want to take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot. Again, I'll show you the finished bracelet at the end of the video. I know I showed it at the beginning, but I'll show it at the end. So I'm just going to turn the camera off and finish threading these on. Okay, before I finish threading these on, I really wanted to give you a close-up look at these jasper beads. Can you see the flecks of gold that are in these? These are just incredibly beautiful when you really look at them up close. See that? I hope you can see how the sparkle comes through on these. But I just had to stop to show you that because every time I look at them, I find something else that's so beautiful about them. And now I'm ready to finish off this bracelet. This is my extra. I told you I was giving you a lot of extra wire there. I'm going to measure this, and I am seeing that this is going to come in when I add my final jump ring. It's going to come in at just about 7 inches, which is about average. Now, I'm probably going to come back in later on off camera, and because I'm making this bracelet to sell, I need to make sure that it's going to fit several different sizes. So I'm probably going to add some extender chain, which you can add on your own if you have some in your stash, or you might want to get some. But that's what I'm probably going to be doing off camera later on. Now you might notice that I restrung my bracelet, because I noticed while I was showing you the bracelet before that I made a little boo-boo in my design. So I fixed it up there, and now it looks the way it's supposed to look. It was around here. I put the section of 3 over here instead of here. Anyway, always, always, always check your design before you put the final ending and crimping on your bracelet or your necklace, because I'm telling you from experience, I almost just did it again. If you don't, and if you make that final finishing on this bracelet, and if you make a mistake, you're going to have to take the whole thing apart. And luckily I didn't have to do that. So I'm going to go a little bit faster with the crimping on this. You can always slow me down or go back to when I crimped the other side if you need a slower explanation, more detailed. So before I put this jump ring on, I'm going to make sure it's closed. And I'm not sure whether or not the jump rings that you get in the kit will be open or closed, but you know how to open and close these. And if I didn't mention it before, which I didn't, I've mentioned it in other videos, you always want to turn, you always want to twist your jump ring. You don't want to pull it apart. And I know that someone got a little annoyed with me, this was a long time ago, for making such a big deal about that. And they commented, what's the big deal? Why does everybody make a big deal about twisting the jump rings? I've been pulling them apart for years and I haven't had any problem. And that's great. I think that that person was probably very lucky. But when you do that, you can not only distort the jump ring, and it will never, or usually doesn't go back to its original circular formation, but you can actually weaken the jump ring. That way you weaken it and it could actually snap. So, you know, that person was pretty lucky that that didn't happen, but I wouldn't take the chance, and I don't recommend that you take the chance either. So I'm going to thread this through, and I know I got a lot of extra wire here. That's all right. So I'm going to pull this through, and you want to make sure that I'm going to need my chain nose pliers here to give me a little bit of a hand. Use your tools, right? Use your tools. And you want to make sure that you are snugging this up, but you also want to make sure that you're not tightening it so much that it's going to start buckling, right? So come on, there we go. Okay. Now I know I need to go a little bit more with this, not much, but I want to just make sure, see, it's a little too tight, and it's not forming a circle softly. That's it. That's what I want. You know, I want it to not have gaps, but I also don't want it to be so tight that there's a chance that the beads are going to crack or it's going to be awkward looking when you wear it. That's what I want. So this is the point where I want to crimp it. And I'm going to take my crimping pliers again, look for the tooth on top. Tooth on top. Get in there, move that jump ring out of my way, and give it a good chomp there. Not a chomp, but a good squeeze. A squeeze, okay? It's indented. Turn it away from me. Put it in the other notch, give it another squeeze. One more for good measure. And you don't want to over squeeze this. Like you don't want to crush it so hard that you break it. These are nice crimps. Unfortunately, I don't remember where I got them, and I don't remember the brand, but Beetle On makes good crimps. Soft Flex, I think, makes good crimps. That must be where I got these from. Okay, give that a snip and straighten that out a little bit if we need to. And there we go. This bracelet's ready, right? So I am going to hook it over here. Excuse me. I'm gonna hook it over, hook it closed, and there we are. And like I said, I think it came in at just about 7 inches. Yeah. Okay. That's good. And I might add a couple of extra jump rings on there. And there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Those beads are just something else. I really like them. And don't worry that this isn't completely round. As you wear it, as your customers wear it, it will naturally round out a little bit more. Okay, so there we are. That's the Into the Woods bracelet. Sorry about that. The Into the Woods bracelet made with the creative kit of the same name that you can find in my Etsy shop. The information will be in the description below this video. Thanks for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe and comment. And I am almost at my 1,000 subscriber mark. Thank you so very much to all of you who are subscribing and joining me. And if you skipped the intro, you might want to go back and watch it, because I talk about my new Patreon channel that I'm starting, my new subscription that you will also find information for in the description below this video. Thanks a lot, everybody, and you have a great day. And enjoy the transition from summer into fall. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Take care now.